Welcome to Fun Islamic Facts, where I share fun facts about Muhammad and the Quran whenever jihadis go on a killing spree. In our last installment, we found Muhammad threatening his followers with hell if they didn't pee properly. Muhammad's obsession with urine continues as he attempts to give one of his amazing scientific explanations for why people oversleep. Sahih al-Bukhari, 1144. Narrated Abdullah. A man was mentioned before the Prophet, and he was told that he kept on sleeping till morning and did not get up for as-salat, i.e. the Fajr prayer, the dawn prayer. The Prophet said, Satan urinated in his ears. So, when a Muslim sleeps through his prayer, it's not because he's tired or lazy or doesn't really care about Islam, it's because the devil took a whiz in his ears. Leave it to the Prophet of Islam to bring Satan's whiz into a discussion about prayer and self-discipline. To all of you Muslims who are watching and find the sound of urine revolting, now you know how we feel whenever we read about your Prophet. Welcome to Fun Islamic Facts, where I share fun facts about Muhammad and the Quran whenever jihadis go on a killing spree. As we saw in Fun Fact 3, Satan pees in your ears. But where does he stay at night? Sahih al-Bukhari, 3295. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "If any one of you rouses from sleep and performs the ablution, he should wash his nose by putting water in it and then blowing it out thrice, because Satan has stayed in the upper part of his nose all the night." Muslim commentators are careful to note that Muslims must really believe that Satan stays in their noses at night, because they have to believe what Muhammad said. Even the commentator for this edition of Sahih al-Bukhari declares, "We should believe that Satan actually stays in the upper part of one's nose, though we cannot perceive how, for this is related to the unseen world, of which we know nothing, except what Allah tells us through His Messenger." Notice that Satan not only stays in your nose at night, he can also be flushed out with water. So Satan is physical, or can at least be pushed around by physical substances. But there's a problem. There are billions of noses in the world. The only way Satan could be physically present in billions of noses is for Satan to be omnipresent. Omnipresence, however, is one of God's attributes. Hence, according to Muhammad, Satan is either God, or he shares at least one of the attributes that are supposedly unique to God. And Muslims have to believe that Satan shares God's attributes because they have to believe what Muhammad said about the unseen world. By claiming that Satan has God's attributes, Muhammad committed shirk, the worst possible sin in Islam. And by believing what Muhammad said, Muslims also commit shirk. So, Muslims are following a mushrik and have become mushrikun. Welcome to Fun Islamic Facts, where I share fun facts about Muhammad and the Quran whenever jihadis go on a killing spree. In Fun Fact 3, we learned that Satan pees in your ears. In Fun Fact 6, we saw that Satan hides in your nose when you sleep. But many of you were wondering, what does Satan do when he hears the adhan, the Islamic call to prayer? Fortunately for us, Muhammad's followers wondered the same thing, and the Prophet of Islam had the answer. Sahih al-Bukhari, number 1231. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "When the call for salat, prayer, is made, Satan takes to his heels passing wind, so that he may not hear the adhan." Sunan an-Nasai, number 671. It was narrated from Abu Huraira that the Prophet said, "When the call for prayer is given, the shaitan takes to his heels, passing wind loudly, so that he will not hear the call to prayer. When the call to prayer is finished, he comes back." Muslim commentators are careful to point out that Satan literally farts when he hears the call to prayer. As the commentator for this edition of Sunan an-Nasa'i notes, breaking wind evidently signifies the literal breaking of wind. If Satan can eat and drink, then why deny other bodily functions? Some have understood the said phrase to mean abhorrence, but this interpretation is without evidence. According to Muslim preachers, one of the virtues of Islam is its simplicity. And it's difficult to argue with their claim that Islam is simple, since, with all the talk of Satan peeing in your ears and farting and hiding in your nose, Islam sounds like it was invented by a 5-year-old. Welcome to Fun Islamic Facts, where I share fun facts about Muhammad and the Quran whenever jihadis go on a killing spree. Many people lay awake at night wondering, what does Satan eat? Fortunately for them, the Prophet of Islam has the answer. According to Surah 18, verse 50 of the Quran, Satan is a jinn, a class of supernatural beings created from fire and distinct from angels. And Muhammad told his followers exactly what jinn eat. Sahih al-Bukhari, number 3860. Narrated Abu Huraira that once he was in the company of the Prophet carrying a water pot for his ablution and for cleaning his private parts. While he was following him carrying it, i.e. the pot, the Prophet said, "Who is this?" He said, "I am Abu Huraira." The Prophet said, "Bring me stones in order to clean my private parts, and do not bring any bones or animal dung." Abu Huraira went on narrating, "So I brought some stones, carrying them in the corner of my robe till I put them by his side and went away. When he finished, I walked with him and asked, 'What about the bone and the animal dung?' He said, 'They are of the food of jinn.' The delegate of jinn in the city of Nasibin came to me, and how nice those jinn were, and asked me for the remains of the human food. I invoked Allah for them, that they would never pass by a bone or animal dung, but find food on them." Jami at-Tirmidhi, number 18. Abdullah bin Masud narrated that Allah's Messenger said, "Do not perform istinja, i.e. cleaning yourself after going to the bathroom, with dung nor with bones, for indeed it is provisions for your brothers among the jinn." Hence, jinn eat dung and whatever's left on bones. Muhammad ordered his followers not to wipe themselves with animal dung or bones so that friendly jinn would have plenty of food. More timeless wisdom from the only prophet in history who was maniacally obsessed with human waste and bodily functions. Of course, by leaving dung and bones for the jinn, Muhammad and his followers were also providing food for Satan. So, if you want to feed Satan, just follow the teachings of Muhammad.